seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Greetings one and greetings all. Welcome to the countdown show for the Lady Gunfighter Condemnation Coffin Launch. Coming at you in less than a half hour. Here we are. Boy, we've been waiting to present this chapter to you for a long time. Over the course of the next half hour, we're going to ruminate a little bit on the creative process of this cool comic that I hope that you will back, and we have some surprises for you. So before we get into it, I just want to let you know that when this campaign goes live in less than 1/2 hour, for the first 24 hours of the campaign, any physical backer will receive a beautiful Lady Gunfighter challenge coin with art by Richard Ortiz and Mike Chrome. This piece is amazing, full color, 3-dimensional, and I highly encourage you to back the campaign as soon as possible and tell your friends and tell your enemies. Thank you so much for your consideration on that, and we are just so happy to present this to you. So without further ado, I want to bring on some of our creative staff. First, let's introduce Mr. Mike McLean. Mike, how you doing today?
Hey, how you guys doing out there?
And I see some cool people out there watching. Solomon, Old Man, Kenny, Glitch, Chad. What's up, Chad? Tell Christine I said, hey, and what's up, Mike Madigan? What's up, team?
Hey, Mike Madigan, how's it going?
Also want to, I also want to bring on the one and only Joel Gomez, the illustrator for Lady Gunfighter.
Thank you for having me. What up, everybody? It's good to be here. I'm so excited about this book. It's always a pleasure teaming up with my fellow compadres, Mike McLean and Brian Pulido.
Hell yeah. So guys, I'm going to ask you some questions, but first let's get right into the whole idea of Lady Gunfighter itself. Lady Gunfighter is a 48-page square-bound story written by Mike McLean, illustrated by Joel Gomez, colored by Hedwin Zalvadar, and lettered by veteran letterer Marshall Dillon. I see Matt Stapleton in the stream saying, Gomez gang.
What up, Matt?
Chad over there saying, what's up, Joel? Joel put his horns up. Everybody's like, Joel!
Friend!
That's...
He knows my Joel.
So, Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to say a little bit about what this particular story is, and then let's get into a little bit about what inspires both of you guys to jump into this particular genre, the Western, and in particular the supernatural Western. What can people expect from Lady Death Condemnation, or by Lady Gunfighter Condemnation?
Well, of course, you know, it's a supernatural Western. It's bloody and violent. Taking off from the last chapter, Desolation, we have Eliza Ryan, she is a bounty hunter. She used to be an ex-trick shooter for Winchester Willie's Western Wild Show, traveling Western show, and she has then become now she's a bounty hunter. We saw she is seeking vengeance on the notorious Jebediah Kane for killing her family, and in this particular issue, she's been left for dead. She has seen that Jebediah Kane has her daughter, her long-lost daughter, who she believed to be dead, and her job now, she is without her demonic pistol. How can she get that daughter back, even though the odds are against her? And you're going to see some really very vibrant and dark sets, and she's going to go into a city that's lawless, and it's just it's everything you want out of a supernatural Western.
That's right. So guys, I'm going to actually start off, so that's the setup for the story, and of course, as Joel Gomez said when we launched the first chapter, this is the chapter you've been waiting for.
That's right. I'll never live that one down. I was just so excited. I was so immersed in the second chapter of what Brian and Mike had created. And it's just such a yarn, man. It's such a cool setup, and I couldn't help but mention the dominoes falling as they were laying down there. And it's awesome. You guys got to check it out.
So, guys, I wanted to ask both of you individually, what are your favorite Westerns and what drew you to this particular genre in telling a story? Because certainly it is uncommon in comics. I mean, comics are very frequently dominated by superhero comics. Why a Western? And what's your favorite Western? Let's start with Joel.
Couple of my favorite Westerns is Once Upon a Time. That's just such a classic. Just the way that the camera movements work. I loved all of that. A lot of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti Westerns were fantastic. And in a lot of ways, there's some modern stuff that's also got a Western vibe to it. No Country for Old Men is kind of an odd thing to call a Western, but it has the frameworks of that kind of thing. And there's just something really unique about it. I grew up on superhero comics. I love superhero comics, but older Joel, as I am now, appreciates the genres that kind of reflect a little bit of those qualities, but also are a little more grounded in reality, so to speak. And for some reason, I just gravitate towards the Western. And lucky for me, my compadres, Mike McLean and Brian Pulido, I think they feel the same way. And the last thing that really got me inspired was a video game called Red Dead Redemption, and it pretty much was a free world kind of roaming thing where you're in a Western setting, and it was just bonkers. It blew my mind. And that was pretty much around the time I was already working on the La Muerta, and it started to appear in my sketches and stuff that I was really into. And I think it just kind of like, it was like peanut butter and chocolate, because like I said, Brian and Mike, they already had these ideas brewing, and it just came together the way that it did.
Well, I'm going to ask Mike the same question, but for those of you who are on the stream, please post your favorite Westerns and we'll talk about them. Mike, what's your favorite Western?
I got to go with Joel with the Clint Eastwood Westerns. Unforgiven. You have to go with Unforgiven. Pale Rider. And one of my favorites is I'm blanking. That one. The Pale Rider, the previous one before, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Obviously, the few dollars more. Fistful of Dollars, all those ones are great with the imagery, the kind of sun-bleached imagery. It's just great, those spaghetti westerns with that. I do like the Unforgiven, the nihilism of that movie is just, it really kind of puts you into what maybe that world was really like. It doesn't sugarcoat it like those happy John Wayne, westerns were.
Yeah, it's interesting because Silverado had come out within 5 years of that, and I thought that was kind of like the glossy thing, and then Unforgiven came in and said, nope, that's it.
Yeah, that Unforgiven really hit hard with that one. Django was interesting. That was a fun one.
I'm getting to Django.
You mean Django Unchained or Django?
So I'm going to weigh in, and my favorite Western is Django. So the original Django, directed by Sergio Corbucci, which is an Italian film, not to be confused with the 1,000 sequels that were unofficial, including Django Unchained. And if you have not seen this film, do yourself a favor. It's the first and only horror Western. Yeah. And it is quite a film. I see some people making their notes. For example, Matt Stapleton, Hell on Wheels, the series. Tombstone, A Million Ways to Die, in the West. That's great. End of West comic series. And that Samantha's on the scene saying, hey, everyone. And Martin over there is, let's see here, Big Jake, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, True Grit, of course. There you go. All great Westerns.
Yeah, I might be controversial. I like the newer True Grit much more than the old one.
That one was
interesting.
It was great. Yeah.
Guys, I wanted to say, what spark exactly ignited Lady Gunfighter?
It's just, I think the setting plays a huge role in it. We have the supernatural in throughout the Coffin comics, but this was a chance to put the supernatural in this, like I said before, kind of a nihilistic, almost a post-apocalyptic setting. It's after the Civil War. The Wild West is wild. There's no law. It's rife with the line between good guys and bad guys is very blurry, as it was in real life. So I think that as a backdrop for a story is just amazing, and how the character can navigate that and try to stay true to ethics while facing this overwhelming violence. That really spoke to me.
Joel Gomez, so given that as the recipe, as an illustrator, what were some of your thoughts about how we were going to choose to portray the United States post-Civil War?
I loved it, man. I when we first started talking about it, and I was getting notes from Brian about the setting and just like a couple of key phrases with the way he described it, and it really excited me because it was true to the brand of what Coffin Comics is, and I was already in that style or vein of into the Western settings and drawing stuff like that, and I was already exploring these ideas in my art, but for it to have like this fit with what Brian and Mike were going for with Lady Gunfighter, it was exciting and kind of a challenge because like no one's really touching this genre, or at least maybe they are now, but when you guys first came up with this, no one was really touching this genre, and that's what appealed to me. I kind of go against the grain when it comes to those kinds of things, and it's so rewarding to introduce something unique and have people enjoy it, and it just comes out of the box from what everything else is doing. And again, true to form, you guys had this really cool idea, and it was really exciting, and it was challenging because we were just kind of making it up as we went, but everything that you guys were touching on with the tone of the world that Eliza is in, the morals, or just the personality that Eliza displayed, it's just so it was so unique, and I love everything about it. I think you guys are onto something with this whole Western theme, and I keep posting sketches lately of just like my version of the Coffin Comics universe characters as sketch covers, just because I want to just spread that out there and get people excited about it, because maybe we'll inspire Brian and Mike to like take on this more terrain with all these characters, because I think, who knows, Eliza could be the gateway for all of this thing. You guys got to check out, the bundle pack that we have in the our pledge system here, where you get both issues, because for those who missed that first issue, you might be missing out on something good that maybe might turn into something. I don't know.
That's true. Well, it's true. There are right now, Coffin Launch, you can preview all the various claims that we have to offer. And one of the claims that we do have is the bundle, where you could get the first chapter and the second chapter together for a reasonable price. Let's talk about Eliza Ryan herself. What distinguishes her perhaps from other characters? What are some of the defining characteristics in her motivation?
Well, this is a revenge tale, but I think her motivation is interesting because in the beginning of the story, she doesn't know it's a revenge tale. She is kind of trying to find herself after this deep, deep tragedy. To have this deep tragedy and then to realize that maybe your past was a little bit of a lie, I think that's difficult for her. She also has to struggle with the demonic possession of the pistols itself. What kind of payment is that going to cost on her soul? How is that going to affect her? So I think that some of those themes are a little bit common in the Coffin Comics world, because we love the supernatural, and we love talking about the, what's the cost of evil. But in the setting and her dealing with that, it's just been a lot of fun to work on.
Joel, is there anything that you would add to the topic?
Yeah, honestly,
day in and day out, you're just spending time with Eliza on the page.
That's really what it is. The first chapter with the 98, or was it 98 page? Yeah, 98 pages. 96. It was me just getting accustomed to who she was. How does she walk? How does she stand? What's her usual expression? Modeling the personality of this character through sequential art. And it was a unique thing to try to figure out, well, what's the tone of this, given the way that the script is written? And she's got a stoic demeanor, but is she always like just kind of some boring looking character? No, she's got to be mysterious. She's got to have an aura about her. And so I try to infuse a lot of that idea into the character. I think she's like quietly vibrating in front of you, as I would imagine her if she were a real person. Something in the eyes, maybe. And the thing is, she's a stone-blooded killer, but she's not like this evil person yet. And there's something that's holding the gates of this thing that's going to rupture out of her. She's holding it together. And I read that from the way that the script is written. So I try to do my best to just kind of present the character in a way that she's not just a pretty face, but she's also kind of more than just a badass. And so it's a weird fine line I'm trying to navigate, because I want to honor the thing that Mike's putting out there, because it's, again, it's a Western, but it's a Western in the Coffin Comics universe. So it has this filter over it that creates more of, it's almost like a genre film. And I honor that, because that's part of what we're about. And people who are kind of into Westerns, I think they'll be more into this Western because it's a Coffin style Western. And so I try to tackle it with that idea in mind, because our characters have such a unique kind of blend to them. And so that's what makes it so exciting.
Well, thank you so much for that, Joel. Want to just check in with some of the people watching on the stream. Martin, let's see here. That Western Hell Witch is absolutely amazing. I saw that too. It was really fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Woodward suggests Three Amigos as his favorite Western.
A little different tone.
And then Matt Calhoun said his favorite Western is No Country for Old Men. And pretty much anything Cormac McCarthy is pretty amazing in my book, frankly, including The Road, Blood Meridian, all the stuff that guy writes. I'd also say earlier on the stream, I think Outcast was asking if Lady Death Savage Rain is shipping, and indeed it is. We have about half of the campaign out, but we're about to take our break, and then we will ship the balance of the campaign upon our return. So we do expect somewhere around mid-July to have the entirety of Savage Rain out and about. Right on. Well, without further ado, I would like to invite the woman of the moment, actually, Lady Gunfighter herself. Could you come on in, Lady Gunfighter?
Shit.
So here we have Lady Gunfighter, and if Lady Gunfighter, if you could be right here, and then if we could be right straight on. There we go. I like that. Lady Gunfighter, what brings you to, what is your mission?
Vengeance against Jebediah Kane.
Now, what is it about Jebediah Kane?
He's an evil man. And I need vengeance.
She needs vengeance. Now, today we have Banana Cake Cosplay as the one and only Lady Gunfighter. I'd like you to really get in there with the photography and check out all the super cool detail.
It's awesome.
Of the costume, the accuracy, the dedication to the detail. Banana Cake Cosplay, awesome. What is it that attracted you to the character?
So I initially saw the character from the concept art that is in the vault. The last Sworn Fest, I took a tour over to headquarters, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I took a picture of it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I started making it. I told Brian I made it. I loved it so much. I think I'm from Arizona. I don't know who in Arizona doesn't like cowboys.
Right.
We're the cowboy state, so
Yeah, it's in our blood.
Westerns are always just a big draw.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is a great, accurate representation. And
It's awesome.
again, right? Joel Gomez, any comments on the cool representation of Banana Cake Cosplay as Lady Gunfighter?
I love it. I love the chains that are hanging off like her belt there. That's a cool
Yeah, all these
addition.
great details.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm thinking of something like that now because I hadn't put that in the design. Now I'm like, maybe I should do that.
You know, last year we were having fun with, you drawing your demonic pistol, and then we got in trouble with YouTube.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well, we were all laughing because both Mike and I were watching YouTube videos for trick shots on YouTube. So it seems kind of strange, I guess they just don't like guns pointed at the camera, let's say, perhaps. Maybe you could just kind of walk around. But I mean, I've seen some amazing trick shots, right? You can see all kinds of how to clean guns and all that kind of stuff. Who knows? Banana Cake Cosplay, is there anything else you want to say to people out there about the upcoming Lady Gunfighter campaign?
I definitely just all think you should check it out. I'm eyeballing the coin. I've been eyeballing the coin.
That coin is real, huh?
Yeah, definitely, you got to get in early so you can get that one because
That's true.
I have not been able to stop thinking about it.
Yeah, so there you have it. The coin offer is for 24 hours. Let's see if we could get a closer view of the coin. Let me see how close we can get. We'll take our time. Watch out on focus. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That's a nice sharp focus. This is the coin everyone's going to get literally for free
That's awesome.
for the first 24 hours if you're a physical backer. Look at the detail.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's the other side.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great shot.
Matt Stapleton calling it the gratuitous close-up. But yeah, yeah, get in on this one. Yeah, we really figured out coins recently. I mean, we've done quite a few coins, but man, I'd like to think that we really just kind of locked in, right, to the methodology. Yeah, that one's fire. That one's really
That's awesome.
fire.
They do look great.
But we have about 10 minutes till our campaign begins. So a couple of pieces of business. If you haven't, register on coffinlaunch.com, get your account going, and please back the campaign instantaneously to be eligible to get your coin. And treat yourself. It's the summer, right? Why not? Just indulge yourself. Right, next up, what I'd like to do is to introduce the person who's going to keep an eye on your customer service. Over here, we have the one and only Moonshine Mel.
It might be Jessie from Toy Story today.
Wait, if you're Jessie from Toy Story, you're going to have to prove it.
Oh my God.
Can you do the Jessie move?
Yes, I can do the Jessie move. Can I just?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some space.
Oh, okay. This is the demanding version of Jessie.
Ready? You have me on the way. Okay. Go.
I love it.
Well done.
She
Well
has
done.
the chaps and everything.
Well done. Yeehaw.
That's awesome.
So just to assure everybody, when the campaign goes live, Mel will be available, Moonshine Mel will be available for your customer service inquiries. That's one of our many promises to you, that you'll get right to us. Anything you want to say to the folks?
Let's see here. I love hearing from you guys. You can always hit there's a little help button. It's very easy to reach us from Coffin Launch. So there's help buttons all over the place. Just hit the help button and then you can just send me a message straight from there. Super simple. I can help you with anything you need. If you need to, if you're like, whoops, I didn't want that, I can remove it. If you want to add something but you already completed your order, just place another order for the item that you wanted to add. And you can do that all day long, several times a day, every day for the whole campaign. Just keep placing orders. We're going to group them all up at the end, so it's easy.
It's easy. Now, we have a whole bunch of different cool additions. Did you notice any that is a particular favorite?
I noticed about half of them that I love and I can't decide between. But I think one of my faves this time is actually that metal print.
Oh, the metal print. Let's go over and take a look at it. Where did it go? Where did you get to, metal print? It's in the middle. Middle. Here we go. That's right. Here's the metal print. That is limited to 25 copies, I think. And good luck, everybody, boys and girls. That is Richard Ortiz art. Due to popular demand, we brought back the metal print program because you guys demanded it. Yeah, you hear that? Let's see here. Matt Calhoun says, Coffin Launch is so easy to use. You guys knocked it out of the park. Thank you. DAE 138 says, what is up, Sworn Nation? That's right. So we are now about 7 minutes and change away. And I'd like to ask Mike to step back in, and I want to ask those guys another question, if I may. So let's bring Joel back up. And what was the collaboration process between the writer, artist, colorist, and letterer on this? And let's get it from your perspective, Joel Gomez.
I think there was a couple of initial conversations with Mike directly, asking, what did you think of this? What did you think of that? Because aside from La Muerta, which we had kind of been on together for a while, this felt like
Over a decade.
Yeah, this felt like us jumping into a new getaway car, and it's like, well, how does this car drive? Like, what do you like about it? Where do you want to go with this thing? And so it was a nice pivot because I really like the way Mike sets up sequences, and I've gotten really used to it. But in this regard, I also knew we were embarking on a new journey, and I really wanted to respect the material and not try. I wanted to try different things, but I also wanted to see how he felt about what we were doing and what he liked or may have not liked. And he never really said what he didn't like, but he always kind of appealed to like, well, I enjoy this film, or I like this one sequence when this thing happened. So that was always nice to have. And I think the one thing I took away from the first chapter that I thought I wanted to carry into more as we hopefully get to do more Gunfighter is explore more of the grittiness that Mike has described in the world and the world that you guys have created. And so that's one of the exciting things with this new chapter. It gets a little more edgier, a little more grittier. There's a little more darkness to it. And I think it came out well. I saw some of the colors for it. It looked fantastic. So who knows? I mean, I think I hope we get to do more of the same kind of thing moving forward too.
Well, let's see how this campaign does, and then we will review and see how it goes. Mike, I'd like to ask you the exact same question.
Well, yeah. What's great about working with Joel is, we can call each other up and just talk about it. He would come with a question. Hey, what did you mean by this panel or that panel? And try to encourage him to hey, you can break through the script if you want to, change things up a little, as long as we can get the story in there. So that was really helpful. I think, I really tried to lean into Joel has so many strengths, one of which is his backgrounds are just amazing. And he's one of the, and I say this, obviously we have a lot of bias, but I say this truthfully. He is probably one of the artists that can set mood with background better than anybody I've seen. The way he can set the mood of a scene. So I really tried when I was thinking of the frames. Hey, what's the city look like? What's the anytime I try to think of the settings, so Joel can really bring that tone in, which he did a tremendous job at.
Yeah, speaking for myself, above all, I kept thinking horror, Western, and I wanted to support the guys in presenting this world that is just on the verge of the apocalypse. Because just imagine, post-Civil War America, it was a lawless land, and really the country was in ruins. And particularly if you do your research and you head out west, there were no laws, and we are really looking at the wreckage of a country. And so we started focusing in on some real stuff that was out there. Whole towns filled with leprosy, wild animals, horrific bounty hunters, moody, cloudy, foggy, wolves, like all these things where the land itself wants to kill you. It just does.
Yeah, exactly.
It does not want you there. It rejects you. And so in the face of that, Gunfighter still is on her mission.
Yeah.
So, folks, we are 3 minutes away. I'd like to ask Lady Gunfighter to come back in. We're 3 minutes away from launch. And what I'd like to do also now is to introduce our very own Jordan Kale, who is in charge of Coffin Launch. Let's bring Jordan in. And Jordan, before we launch, is there anything that you think that our folks need to know out there in the universe?
No, I just say this every time. I just want to thank everybody for the support and, being here with us. Because of you, we get to do this thing that we love every single day. And just thank you. Very excited for this campaign. I love Westerns as well. And as always, awesome story, awesome art. It's going to be good.
What is your favorite Western, Jordan?
I would say I really like 3:10 to Yuma or The Seekers.
Oh, yeah.
With John Wayne.
Wow, you're going back in time.
Top two.
Nice. Yeah, I guess we could go back. I mean, High Noon is a great classic. The thing is that prior to the superhero genre dominating cinema, for close to 3 decades, the Western was the dominating genre in cinema. Throughout the 40s, 50s, and part of the 60s, culminating in the great spaghetti Westerns that we all love. Yeah, it's great. All right, so let's see here. We are getting down to it. We are less than a minute before launch. Whoa! Just remember, free coin, right? 24 hours, and you want that coin, right, Lady Gunfighter?
You want that coin.
That's
That
right.
coin is crazy. We're getting good at the coins, I gotta tell you. We've seen some upcoming ones too. Holy mackerel, they're looking good. So fire when ready, and Jordan, if you'd be so kind as to give us about a 20-second before we go, let us know. We'll count it down with you. Oh, there we go. There it is right there. Holy mackerel. Okay, we're 20 seconds. When we get down to 10, everybody, can we count it down together? All right, here we go. We're going to launch, Coffin Launch, our very own platform. This is our fourth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are open for business, everybody. Heck yeah. We highly encourage you to back our campaign. I'm going to give this to Mike for just 1 second. And I'm going to get my phone because I'm going to get some tips on who is backing our campaign coming up.
So I remembered one of my favorite Westerns that I was, High Plains Drifter. Now, if you want nihilism in a Western, High Plains Drifter is one of the most nihilistic. It's one of Clint Eastwood's early directorial debuts, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. And that's one of my favorites. That's one that I forgot.
Yeah, I'm really, Clint Eastwood obviously has gone on to be a phenomenal director, but what a natural, innate talent he had. I mean, he went and shot those couple of spaghetti westerns, came back and just started doing his own. So we asked, I reached out to everybody yesterday and asked for some feedback, and I got some. So here we go. John Mercer says, I wasn't aware of the first comic, but the artwork and the story have intrigued me. Very good, John. And just let us know. We're going to announce some backers. Let's see here. Jason M. says, I have never read Lady Gunfighter. For sure want to get the previous issue and the new one. Great.
That's awesome.
Nate S. says, I can't wait for the next chapter of Lady Gunfighter. After seeing what she went through in Desolation and the preview of her versus Jebediah, I can't wait to see how she comes out in the end. Well, this is great news. Let's see here. Robbie M. I got fired up for this campaign after I finished reading the first book. Loved the story and wanted more. Thank you very much. Andrew W. The history of her gun and its power will be an eye-opener. Thanks for putting Lady Gunfighter on a t-shirt. I must have that t-shirt. I like the t-shirt.
Got a lot of people on the short team.
Okay, a lot of people are on all at once, checking out all the goodies.
That's awesome.
Remember, this is the fourth campaign of our very own crowdfunding platform. Coffin Comics has been successful in the crowdfunding space, particularly on Kickstarter. And then we made the bold decision, crazy enough, to go make our own crowdfunding platform and launch on it. And we're here to let you know that it is working, everybody. Thank you. Our campaigns are exceeding our expectations, and it's all because you guys and gals out there. Let's see here. Jordan, I'll probably ask you to move just a little bit because you're right in front of the comments. Let's see here. Mike Madigan, bam, we are in. Larry said, I ordered mine. Martin pledged for the Gomez. Let's hear. Martin said,
Awesome.
Okay. Pledge, place, with more to add later. Fantastic. How many prints altogether? I think we have 9. Yeah, 9 prints altogether, a set plus 4. And let's see here. Let's see, Glitch, the order is in. Gomez, etc. All right, and some Owen M. said he's looking forward to seeing all the great art, especially that Supernatural cover, and where the story leads in the next issue. Then Nico said, Lady Gunfighter is an instant classic character. I was immediately hooked and couldn't wait to find out more about those devilish pistols. Thank you. And then Savannah said she secured her claim bundle. And Kenny got the metal print. That metal print might go really fast. Let's see here. Peter says, I really enjoyed the first issue and I'll be backing the second as I want to read more. Then David said, the supernatural Western Lady Gunfighter is a perfect meld of 2 genres and a super fun read. And then check out Mike Madigan. I'm going for the Ultimate Legend set, the patch set, and the metal print for claims. Thanks again for rocking it out. No, thank you, the one and only. Let's see here. Matt Stapleton keeps it local with the Henson cover. That's right. And D said he's stoked he got the metal print. Substitute Angel pledged. And then Martin said he got the metal print too. Well, the metal, there's only 9 metal prints left. There's only 9 left. They're going fast. Yeah. We got to get ours. We're going to just double check here. Hold this for 1 second, my man. See if we got any texts yet. We do. I want to let you know that our first #1 pledge was from Scott No.
That's awesome.
Backer 2, JT. Backer 3, Simon R. Backer 4, Carlos G. Backer 5, Noah K. Backer 6, the always reliable, thank you so much, Dallas Lyon Jr.
Thank you.
B7 is David L. Backer 8, Larry L. Check out Martin E. at number 9, Albert T. at number 10. Peter T. at number 11. Number 12 is MD. And then check out Matthew S. at number 13. John K. at number 14. Paul M. number 15. Mike M. at 16. Tony M. at 17. And number 18 is Judson O. So jump in on those claims, get them on in. We cannot thank you enough. Lady Gunfighter, and just heck, everybody, the idea that we could, at a certain level, Mike McLean and Banana Cake, I just want to say thanks to everybody because 35 years in the game, they're supposed to put me out to pasture, but I'm still like making the comics that I love. I'm super duper fired up. We got stuff planned, now and into the future. We're talking about stuff a year from now that is just bananas. And so you guys are like the fuel that lights the fire that makes us go. Let's see here. Glitch says, damn, you guys must have some seriously quick trigger fingers. Yes, for sure. There's some serious quickies out there, without a doubt.
We got lots of carts full.
Carts are filling.
Carts are filling. Just remember, just because it's in your cart doesn't mean you have to.
That's true. You got to check out. That's right. Scott No says, I'm faster at pledging when not on site. There you go. Simon's number 3. That's right. We can't thank you enough for backing. It's awesome. Banana Cake, is there anything you want to say to the people?
You guys are just amazing. The fan base here for Coffin Comics is one of my favorite fan bases, I think, in the world. Everyone's always super kind and super passionate, and I don't know you get that everywhere else.
That's true. Thank you so much. And Mike McClay, Joel Gomez, anything you want to say?
Yes,
We're feeling pretty good. We're getting like some Scott Phelps. Took a while to scroll down to the patch set. I got a whole new list. I'm going to let you know that backer number 19 is Michael R. Backer 20 is Melissa G. Backer 21 is Andrew H. Number 22 is Peter C. Backer number 23 is Clarence B. Backer number 24 is Chance D. Backer number 25 is Brian B. And then backer number 26 is the one, the only Lilith K. Scott No says he's terrible at pledging on his phone, much better on his PC. Yeah, it must be nice. You're right there in your laboratory, man, just like, doing what you need to do. Joel Gomez, I want to just check in and see how you're feeling. Like we're off to the races, very hearty amount of pledges going.
Yeah,
People are
I'm
rocking
really
it out. How do you
grateful.
feel?
I'm really grateful to the Coffin Comics fans, Sworn Nation, just for giving us the opportunity to make this book, and for you guys, Brian and Mike, for coming up with this really amazing chance of this story and just being able to connect with the fans with this new content, a Western in the Coffin style. I think it's something that's going to take off, and I think people should really get in on the ground floor of this book. There's a tier where you get both books. You should really check it out. I think this is something that the Coffin Comics characters are ripe for. It's a supernatural Western with a dark, gritty vibe. It's something unique, and maybe I'm just biased, but I think it's a lock. It fits with what people are excited about, and it's just something new and interesting, and that I could actually say that Coffin is delivering that I don't see many other people doing. So people should really get a chance to jump in on this. And for those that have, I really appreciate you guys supporting us and giving us the chance to keep pursuing these ideas. So keep these things in mind. Tell your friends, as Brian says, tell your enemies, because we'd love to be able to make more of these stories for you guys. Me and Brian, we just can't get enough Western.
That's right. I want to let you know that Kyle is asking if our shirts will be produced by the same company as previous campaigns. Yes, we will use the exact same vendor at this moment. And then Scott says he's terrible at pledging. Yeah, he's much better as PC. I said that before, and now I'm repeating it. Let's see here. Chad saying, getting those shirts in the Pulido print. Yeah, you get it, man. Treat yourself. Yeah. Let's see here. Looking wonderful, Lady Gunfighter. Let's see here. Larry says he's number 8 slower. But here, I got a couple more announcements. I got to let you know that number 27 backer is Ashley D. Backer number Ashley. Backer number 28 is Pete A. Backer number 29 is Jessica H. And backer number 30 is Scott P. Backer number 31 is Kenneth B. Backer number 32 is Jonathan L. Backer number 33 is Magical W. Backer number 34 is Wesley S. Backer number 35 is Lawrence B. Backer number 36 is Savannah D. That's another thing that might be interesting to people is people would presume that most of our readers would be male, but it's not true. We actually have backers from all walks of life, and we're really proud about that too at Coffin Comics. I'm proud of it. So folks, I think we're off to a really great start. Each and every one of you who are backing our physical pledges will receive that beautiful coin. Let's see here. How do you find out what backer number you are? Just curious. Your backer number will appear magically on your invoice shortly. Anything else, I do not know. But Moonshine Mel or Jordan can let you know better than I could. Okay, when you go back in and check out your invoice, so to speak.
Usually,
Hang on one second here. We're going to come on over.
usually it's going to be right on the campaign page, but you've got to give it a while to load because it's not automatic.
Yeah.
So we've got to assign those, so you got to give us a little bit of time. So if you pledge and you go back in the next day, it should just appear on the main campaign page at the top.
Whose dog's barking?
Somebody's dog is barking.
Oh, that's me.
That's awesome. All right, folks. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're off to a phenomenal start. So we're going to do what we call the normal Coffin Comics tradition. We're going to come on over here and have a shot to celebrate for anyone who wants one.
Yes.
So come on over here if you do or if you don't. Come on over. Don't be shy.
Please, don't be shy. We're doing a lovely tequila. Thank you, Mike Madigan. This is the first time I've had a tequila that tastes like whiskey. It's spectacular.
Anybody else in the peanut
So,
gallery?
Any peanut gallery folks?
All right.
Okay, well.
This is a modest launch, but let's see here. Joel Gomez, can you please toast for us?
Yes, you know what? I will do a faux toast here. So this is to everybody who's helped back this campaign and to also hopefully the new people who are joining this new storyline. And we're excited to have you on board and just giving us the opportunity to entertain you with these really dark, crazy, supernatural Western stories. And cheers to my compadres, Brian Pulido, Mike McLean, and the ever so gracious Francisca Pulido for making all of these things possible. And congrats to everybody involved for helping this come together. So salute to everyone.
Salute. Oh, that's so good.
It's so good.
And that was from Mike Madigan. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much.
So delicious.
Well, folks, the metal prints are a big success.
That's awesome.
There's only 2 of them left.
Wow.
Which makes you want to wish you did 50 instead of 25. But then again, if you did 50, then there might be less interest. I don't know. Who knows? It's a game, right? Who knows, Joel?
That's true. That's true.
In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone out there that makes this possible for us, that we could continue to create. The idea that, Joel, Mike, and I have been creating comic books together 11 years going on 12 is a miracle in the world of comic books. It's rare. It is. And I'd like to give Mike an opportunity to say something, whatever he'd like to say in conclusion.
Something nice about us.
Well, whatever you want. I would like to thank you guys. You guys out there, and just to mirror what Joel and Brian have said, this is a dream come true to write these comics and see them come to life, and we don't take that for granted. So we put everything we can into these. We hope you love the stories, and we really appreciate backing it. And I appreciate Brian and Francisca letting me do this. This is awesome, and I love it. And thank you, everybody.
Right on. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's been ever since you give your business card to Francisca Pulido at Phoenix Comic-Con back in the day, it's been kismet. So it's been nothing but a pleasure, frankly. Joel Gomez, I'm going to throw it to you. Is there anything you want to say out there to the people in conclusion?
Yeah, thanks again, guys. Again, we couldn't have done any of these things without the support you guys provide, and it's a big part of what keeps us going. And for an independent comics company that now launches its own crowdfunding type of thing, it's amazing and it's awesome, and it's all due to you guys. And again, please, if you haven't backed this kind of campaign, a Western Lady Gunfighter from Coffin, please consider it. We have both volumes offered available, together. So it might be a great jumping on point. I'm kind of a little biased and I'm a little greedy because I want a bunch of more Western stuff from Coffin Comics from Mike and Brian. So come on, guys, we've got to support this so we can get more of these kind of awesome characters in a Western setting. So thank you so much.
Folks, we are just beginning. I'm happy to announce that, barely a couple minutes into the campaign, we're past 329 backers. Cannot thank you enough. We are really grateful and humbled before you. We dared the impossible and founded our own crowdfunding campaign. We are so grateful to the people who've come over. I want to say big thanks to folks like Mike Madigan, Glitch, Kenny, D138, Scott Phelps. Thank you so much, Christine and Chad. G, you guys... Man, you guys are living the life. I love your Facebook pages. You guys are all over the world. It's just phenomenal. But like everyone else said, because of you, we get to make these comics, and it really is a blessing. We don't take it for granted. There have been times in my career where it's very, very tough to launch new material. People just wouldn't go for it. And thank you so much for going for the ride and trusting that we are going to tell you stories that entertain you, and that we're going to be our promise, and that we're going to get the work to you that we said that we will. And we certainly will. So anything else for you to say, Banana Cake?
Just Sworn Nation!
Hell yeah, Sworn Nation. You guys been great. We've been the Coffin Comics crew. Lady Gunfighter Condemnation is officially launched. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, and we're out of here.